Hey everybody, so the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. This time, I've got a improved tree farm. In the last tutorial I did, we did this one, and I came up with a system for converting them into single logs, but I still got to get that tutorial made for you guys. But I think it will actually work better with this one right here, because, well, the way that this is built. So, now, I'm just going to remove that obsidian, because that's obsidian is designed more for the, well, oak. And I'm going to flip the lever to activate the bone meal. We're going to place the bone meal. I'm going to fly up here. Now, this will destroy a good chunk of the leaves. In fact, actually, it'll destroy all but one for spruce and 100% for all the other ones. So, spruce is the only one where you won't have 100% of the leaves broken. So, let's just watch it one more time. And pulls. Alright, now let's get another sapling. Let's go with, not the leaves, I want a sapling. Let's go with birch. Okay, so we'll place the birch down. They grow up, and this one will break all of the birch leaves. And that is due to the way that the trees grow. Well, let's go for a ride. Let's break that. And so it breaks all the leaves, pushes it out, and puts them into whatever you want, a blocker, into hopefully the next video, my log converter, which puts them into a single strip, flash chamber, wither cage, whatever you want. So let's turn this off, and let's discuss the leaves real fast. Let's discuss the trees real fast. Yes, that's fine, that can stay out of there. It's out of the tree growth area. So only reason why I say it'll work with all of them, destroy 100% of the leaves except for birch, except for spruce. This is a prime example, because we've got 2 more leaves after this, because what we're going to do is push the tree up, which then destroys all of them. So this is the only one that will remain, depending on the direction that you're pulling them at. Now, if I flip the levers for all of these, you notice the wood went all the way through the top, breaking that leaf, and breaking that leaf for the jungle. And like I said, spruce is the only one that will do it. So, you guys, what do you say? Let's get to building this thing. Okay, guys. Now, like always, normally I have shulker boxes, but I've got everything we need to build that in here. Now, I recommend bringing a lot more than just this, because, yeah, it's just so much. But you need honey and slime. Bring about equal quantities over a stack. Stack and a half would be good. Bring about 3 stacks of sticky pistons. 12 regular pistons is all we need for this. A bunch of hoppers. Tons of redstone. Bring a stack of redstone blocks and then convert them over to dust would be great. Bring about 4 or 5 stacks of repeaters. Bring about 7 to 10 comparators. Quite a few torches. 1 dispenser. Bring about 6 droppers or so. bring an extra redstone block because we actually need the block itself. About 18 lamps or so. Bring at least a stack of observers. You might bring a little more. I always recommend it. One lever. Bring stuff to create towers with, redstone towers with, as in slabs, glass, glowstone. Bring almost 2 stacks of obsidian because we're going to need quite a bit, but this is more of a probably bare minimum. And you're definitely going to need 1 piece of dirt and a bunch of blocks to build with and place your redstone on. So let's get this stuff. So first thing we're going to do, I'm just going to pillar up. Determine where you want to have your tree farm. We don't need these, so we will get our sticky pistons. We're going to place a sticky piston going up on a block. We're going to leave that block because we need it. We are going to get our 1 piece of dirt, place it there. I'm just going to toss it because I don't need it anymore. And then we're going to decide where we're going to be placing our, well, front. So let's get our hoppers. I'm going to utilize just this to be able to move them where I need to move them. We're going to take our hoppers. It doesn't matter where you send them. So I'm going to send them this way. And then we're going to place 2 more here because we need to put run hoppers on there. We don't, let's see here. And I thought I said I'd get rid of the dirt. Okay, we need our droppers. We need at least 2 droppers. So off of the sticky piston, off of the top of that, and then a dispenser. Then then on the first hopper coming from the dispenser, we're going to place a comparator, and this is just the tree detection. That is all we are making right now, is the tree detection. So let's just get a block we want to see. I like using black concrete because it looks good. And we're going to pillar up 1, and then we're going to get, and we're going to go right in front of the repeater. We're going to have to set this repeater to 4 ticks because we want it to hold. Place a dust. Get a dropper. Underneath. Get a hopper. And then we're going to pull a comparator signal out of that hopper because this makes a hopper-dropper monostable circuit. We're going to just take 1 random item. It doesn't matter. So that's one thing this is why I always say always carry more. And we're going to place it in there. So now I'm just going to put an item in here. The lever will work for now. I'm going to place a block in front. It doesn't create a clock because it's holding, pulsing, and then pushing it out, and then pulling it down and finishing the cycle. That's what we need. So from here, we're going to be working somewhat backwards. We just needed to get this in place to determine where we're going to have everything. So from here, we are going to go out 3 blocks, go out another one and up, and place a block right there. In fact, let's change colors because this is a completely different part. So we have this. let's grab some sticky pistons real fast. Now, if you watched my last video, that's what this is. We are making the system for the triple piston extender. Oh, I need the black concrete back to a place right here to hold it. So that's what we're doing. We're making the system that will say, okay, now it's time to push this right above here before we grab it, pull it out. So we need the obsidian. You don't have to use obsidian. You can use any non-movable blocks. That's crucial because this cannot move. This, well, you can move it, just can't stick. So in other words, terracotta would work. Glazed terracotta will work. Repeater 3 ticks. Repeater 2 ticks. Dust. We're going to do this 6 times total. They come in pairs, so we're going to... I don't need you there for now. That's one, and then let me grab this, and that's, and it will end up being one side. It'll be a total of 6 of these. So now we need to add another 4. Now let's get our observers because they are very important here. We're going to put an observer on both of these. We're going to put an observer here and here. Now we're going to get our redstone lamps. The reason why I use redstone lamps is because they're silent. I don't want to hear the sounds of pistons firing, droppers firing. There's enough noise going in this that it's impossible. So now we got 3 those, and now we need to finish placing our dust. So let's place our dust. Our dust goes here, around here, and here. That doesn't need to be there, and these get repeaters, and they all get set to 4 ticks. So if I activate this system right here, so let's grab our lever back. Why didn't I just put it in my hotbar? And here we go. If we activate it, but first let's just set a block here just to push it up. We need to put a block in. So we will go with the dispenser, because I don't need that anymore. As you notice, it pulses right there, pushes it, and doesn't continuing. And then we take our lever, place it here, activate, close it. It pushes it 1 over, which is exactly what we need it to do, is push 1 over so that a double piston will be able to grab it from outside the range. So we're going to build this up 6 times, a total of 6 times. So 5 more times and then we're good for this one. And each level uses the previous one as a location. So that dust right there is getting powered by this repeater and this repeater, but we need it to be powered at least by this repeater, which is why that one's there. So you guys, I'm going to get a total of 6 of them built for you, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and well, I got all 6 levels done. So that means we got 12 there, and the one thing I forgot to mention during this is you don't have to do this. I recommend it more for leaf control. Is just place obsidian or glazed terracotta right here. We don't. It's not needed, but it's recommended. So then we're going to come over here. We're going to go kitty corner from this one. So, and we're just going to pillar up again, with either obsidian or glazed terracotta or any other immovable blocks. Well, non-sticky blocks, I should say. So, from here, we're going to come to the back here. We're going to grab our gorgeous building block that we want to use, the one that we will see. And we're going to go out 3 blocks. And there we go. 3 blocks and then another block. Back here, we're going to either grab our slime or our honey blocks, which you need to alternate between these slime and honey. Same thing here. It's alternation between slime and honey. So we're going to fill up that shape right there. And in the middle of this one, in the middle right here, we're going to add another one. That's going to send it over here. Now, like I said in the preview of that, the advantage to this is it crushes 100% of all leaves other than spruce and has about a 98% chance of crushing every single spruce leaf. So then we're going to get our pistons again, our sticky pistons, and we're going to go to, let's just change colors. And we're going to go out 2 blocks this time. And double layer because we're going to pretty much build most of this without it. Without it. So we're going to pick a side. I'm going to take this side. And I'm going to go down 1 and up 1 here. And we're going to circle it around. And anywhere where you would come in contact with a slime block or a honey block, you need your non-sticky block. And we set it up like that. Repeater to 3, repeater to 2. Let's get that dust out. Dust. Line this dust. And under here. And here we are just going to put 4 blocks, dust, and repeaters, and then 2 repeaters set to 2, set to 4. And if we get ourselves some honey blocks here, and we will do the exact same alignment here as the previous level. And let me get my lever out. We're going to activate it. You can activate it at any point along this back redstone. Same thing with that. The back redstone is the only place that you have to activate it at. We're going to activate it. It pushes 2, which then crushes all the leaves up to here. And then if we deactivate it, it pulls it back in. So again, we build this up 6 times like that, and then we're going to take it. Because of this, we can't have the exact number, so we're going to go. Let's grab the let's grab the slime blocks, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and add 1 more. Different layout, but it gets set up in the exact same way. We need you there. So let me grab my sticky pistons. We're going to go out 3 blocks, break. I'll replace that block real fast. And then we are going to do the exact same thing, except for we're going to do it on this side. non-sticky blocks. And dust on all this back row there. Repeater set to 2. Repeater set to 3. And then 1, 2, 4, and 4. Dust. And then 2 more repeaters. Honey blocks. There we go. And then let's test it real fast. Goes out 2. And completely closes it. Whoa, must have missed a dust or something. I'm guessing right here. Yep. So if you happen to miss the dust here, all you have to do to fix it is break those. You can break all of them, then reactivate the system, close it, because then it will fix itself. So we'll put these back, and I will get these two all the way back, all the way up to that height. And then we will continue with the last section over here, and then we're going to do the redstone finagling underneath. So you guys, give me a moment, and I will be right. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got both sides built. So now comes the last one. We need to get the logs out of this area and away from this. So we're going to come right down here, and we're going to grab our sticky pistons. I'll grab these because we're going to need them. And starting from here, we're going to go in this corner out 1, because we're having a double piston extender here, and it's going to push out. It's going to pull the items out here, but we need to be able to push them out. So I don't want to take away from the double piston that I'm going to be using, so I'm utilizing this one. So we're going to go all the way up to the height, up all the way to 12. That's just to make sure things get done. Then we're going to get our observers. We're going to just, I decided to grab this for temporary blocks. Well, let's get rid of it. Looks ugly. And we'll go with white for this. Okay. We're going to grab our observers, and we're going to just put observers on the other side of these. Now, the reason why these observers are important is because it's going to cause timing. And observers going all the way up on these. So then we're going to need to, this is all we're doing right now is setting up for our, get the logs away from this area and into the system, into whatever way you want, a blast chamber, whatever. And we're going to pillar up with these here, all the way up, right behind the observers, going in the direction that you want them. If you want this to pull out over this way, you just have to reorient these slime blocks here. That's it. It is just switching them out. Just move move this one over 1, add another one, and this one, move over 1 and remove that. It is just minor finagling. That's all it is. So then, now we're going to create our double piston extender by adding pistons. We're adding a double layer of pistons here. Now, in my other tree farm, we're using this exact same setup, but the redstone is actually smaller. But yeah, that's the whole thing. So now we're going to go down here. Every one of these, we're going to place an observer, because we got to be able to push them out of the area, but we can't have them constantly attaching to this. That'll break the system because of how it works. But we could utilize this to get them out of the area to be able to push them out. So let's grab our normal pistons, and we are going to come down here, and these ones will get placed here. We'll grab our building block, because we're going to just come all the way over here, and we're going to stick a sticky piston here. Now what's going to happen is, while the just going, let me finish. Okay, what's going to happen is this one here is going to crush all the leaves all to this point. And that is literally all the leaves up to this point. Then this is going to crush all the leaves all the way up to this point and push the logs out to here, which then will also crush those. Except for if it happens to be one higher, because that's going to crush one right there. Then this is going to come in, crushing the other half. After this is done, this is going to activate, pulling the logs and crushing whatever leaves it can, which is not much, because these three crush about 90% of all the leaves. And then after that, this is going to activate this piston, pushing it out, pushing this observer out, and this observer is going to push the observer over, putting the logs here, which then in the next cycle, after that one goes, then that one, then this one, this is going to come, grab the logs, drag it here, this is going to pull the logs here, and then this is going to push them out once the system activates again. So you will always have logs. You will have logs here, and I do believe here, if not here, because once these get pushed, these actually will also get pushed too. So that you will always have logs here and here while the system is running. And then you set it up for however you want to control it. Log converter, wall, blast chamber, TNT blast chamber, wither cage. It doesn't matter. It's all in how you do it. So let's grab our blocks again, and we're going to come down here. And we're just going to line all of these up. Okay, there we go. Now we need dust behind every single piston, and then one by this observer. So we dust all of this, and once we have that, then we're going to get our repeaters out and put them onto 4 ticks, because we want these to either hold or delay, which in fact actually they do both. Because it actually controls quite a bit. So let's just get the lever again. And I'm going to just snake it around here, just so that we can see what happens. And this right there is just so that I can show you guys. This is unneeded, but from where I would be at, you wouldn't be able to see it. So it pushes and then pops, and then pulls, pops. So if this is right here after this was activated, it's going to push, pull, pull, pull. There we go. And that's what we want. We want that sequence. That sequence is crucial. This, this, this. It's how it is. Honestly, I would rather have this than this, but I can deal with this, this, than this. So then we're going to come down here. We're just going to put 2 more blocks behind each of these. It's two, like I said, 2 more each row. And repeater. In fact, actually, we don't need those. We just put a repeater there. Set to 4 ticks. And dust behind it. Or actually, we'll leave that alone because we do need the block there, but we don't necessarily need dust there. So we'll leave that there for now. And now we're going to come down here. And we're going to go beneath the observer. We are going to grab ourselves our redstone lamps. Every other observer gets a redstone lamp. Now you heard these firing off. Well, that's what we wanted. We want them to fire, but we want them to fire in a very specific way. So we're going to place dust there, and then we're just going to put 4 tick repeaters here. So let's get these 4 tick repeaters in, and I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to place a block up so that it's easier for you guys to see, and we're going to just keep an eye on the left hand part of the screen. So we push this and it activates. And that's what we want. We want to be able to do that. Now, next step would be connecting all of them, because it is very, because that's the fun part. The connections between them all. This is a little bit, this has a little bit of a space here, but the space is not essential. You can actually just decrease it by moving your repeaters closer to it. And that's the whole point, is just minor little changes here and there can actually make the system work well. So let's get to, give me a moment so that I can finagle the redstone order again, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, I got that part finished, and I actually just covered up the floor with hoppers, put the slab where I needed to place it, which is on the away from the push side, because we're going to be standing about right under here for the feeding, for placing the saplings. So now, if you want to, you don't have to. Anywhere where a where a slime block would slide, you just place obsidian, or again any non-movable block. Doesn't matter what it is. And that just seals in the entire area. And yeah, that doesn't need to be there. Yeah, this whole thing is the exit. We'll leave that like that. So now what we got to do is take the output from here and do 2 things. One, shut the system off from dispensing more bone meal, because we don't want to be wasting any bone meal while the tree farm is out. Oh, while the tree farm is crushing the leaves and moving the logs. And then also start the process of crushing all the leaves. So let's get. Well, I need to get another color. So let's get a different color. And we will use just green for this. Okay, so under here, we're going to create, we're just going to put a block there because we're going to have to create the clock for this. So I'm just going to bust that out so that I have access up here. And in fact, actually, we'll just leave those alone. And we're going to place a observer there, which then will power this dropper and the dropper, this dispenser and the dropper below it. In fact, I'm going to remove those to place another one there, which then will do the same with these two. Now, I'm going to place a dropper, observer facing downwards from here, just so that we can see, so that it will activate as accordingly. And one going there. And we need a sticky piston going there, right there. So when this sticky piston pushes over here, sorry, it will be creating clock, which then will fire these constantly. Items will be sent up and into the dispenser, and the dispenser will shoot the bone meal out onto the sapling. So we'll need that space right there real fast. We'll keep that space there. So now, going underneath, we need to power this. Now, I don't like having it where it's a constant power, because that means we can constantly use bone meal. We have to do something weird to do it. So we're just going to eliminate the bone meal by placing a block here. And let me get this so that we can create a dropper RS NOR latch. The reason why I use it is because it is compact. It's small. It's perfect for what we need. And then we'll just put a comparator outside the top one, powering that. So now we can grab any random item and throw it in there. And when this gets powered, it's going to force it. Now we have to force this to go down whenever we don't want it. But the bigger issue is, what do we do when we actually want it to start? Well, we need to do the opposite. We need to go from the bottom to the top, and then from the top to the bottom while we want it to work and stop. So 2 blocks next to the droppers. I'm just going to put a block over here, get an observer, and it's going to pulse up. And as you can see, it's firing. Now what we need to do is when we have the system off, we need to have it go upwards. So we need to invert this entire thing. But remember, we're going to be standing right here, placing it. So let's just do a placement platform where we're going to be standing. And getting up here can be a problem, because just for ceiling purposes, I like to have a roof here. But we don't have to put that in. And then I'm going to go down 3 blocks and place a sticky piston. And now let's just put that block back down here, and we need to power this sticky piston. So that's going to be my floor level. I'm actually going to have this completely hidden so that you can't see, so that it is visually pleasing. So let's just create a little cell. There, that's good enough. So we're standing here. We're going to flip our one lever right here, so that when it'll bring us up, and also turn the system on. And when we flip the lever again, it's going to turn the system off. Well, we can't have that power directly. So what we're going to do is place a block. We are going to take that and put a piece of dust on it. So now the dust is there, and we're going to take a redstone torch, and we're going to place the torch here. Now it's on, and if I flip the lever, it's off. We don't need that. We don't need that. Now we need to power this piston, and it needs to go in the opposite of this. So when that's on, it needs to be off, and when it's off, it needs to be on. In other words, we need to flip the signal. Now normally what I would say is take it here, but if we flip the switch again, that's not on. So we can't do it that way. So the way that I would do it is I would take a, let's see here. How did I do it over here? Because I was looking at it, and it's like, oh, how to do it. Oh yeah. I just took another sticky piston, put it directly underneath it, took our one redstone block, place it on there. You can place dust, and then block it off. And now, when we flip the lever, oh yeah, we do need this block here. When we flip that lever, nothing's going to happen, but when we flip it again, we got it going, and it is up. So let's turn that off. That is our start-stop mechanism. That is literally everything that is our control. Now, what happens next is we need to take the item from up here and put it down here, while the whole system says, okay, there's an item in the inside that we need to control. We need to get rid of it. So we have to power this block here. So usually what I do is I actually take a repeater and I put up and I actually take two repeaters and a dust. It's going to force it down either way. It's just not going to, even with this, so we don't have to worry too much. And then I just take a block, and then I staircase up. That's not going to get affected. Ooh. It's not supposed to be there. So let's just break that. Place it there. Place dust there, and we'll add another repeater. Or ultimately what you can do is take an observer and, well, actually, yeah, we'll need a repeater. A comparator will work too. I wouldn't use dust though. And there we go. There, that's another way of doing it. It will control it and actually lock the system while, when a tree grows. So this part is complete. So that's the stop. Now we need to start. So we're going to go to the end of the line. All right, here's our end of the line. Now we need to power this bottom one right here. So to prevent anything from actually from it activating without you activate it, we're going to place a block there and a block there, and we're going to go up one. We do not want to interact with this piston at all. We need to go down, so we can't use slabs or glass. So we have to use solid block. So we go up one. We're going to put dust and dust. Then we're going to continue on, put a block. We can raise this up one more, block, block, and put a repeater and dust. Now when this system cycles through, when this part finally cycles through, it's going to send a signal down, and as long as this is up, it's going to cycle the system again. Now nothing can get cut off due to the way that it's laid out. We got this nice large area here, 2 blocks wide. It's not going to get interfering. Now the last part is all we have to do is now connect all of these. I'm going to get a different color for this because to understand why it works better. So we need to come off of these right here, and I missed I'll fix this up. Can't believe I missed these when I was building it. Normally I don't. But yeah, we come off of the obsidian, and then we come over, and like I said, any part of the back line. And so, 4-tick repeater, you can. I always skip blocks because I don't need. I use less repeaters, and I have power running through them consistently. And there's that. That will power this one, this bottom part, then this next part, and then we come over here again from the repeater, from the obsidian. We power anywhere along this line. I'm going to power that block there. And again, 3 tick. Again, we're doing 4 ticks on all of these. Now now that just keeps it tight. And then from here, it gets a little more confusing because we don't need to power any of this line. We need to power here. So we're going to go from this one right here. Let me get my back to this, come back down, come to the bottom, and we're just going to draw a line. In fact, we could even take this, place a block there, and run it here. And if you really need to, you can, because we don't want these to connect, so we're going to place a repeater here, and a repeater here, which will prevent any of this dust from connecting to this. We could place a block here, and a repeater here, and we can dust the rest of this. Because all we need is 16 ticks between each one. Now, this last one is a little bit more, well, structured. Because instead, we're going to go from the bottom here. We're going to block that off. We're going to come all the way over to here. And then we're going to take our slabs, because we need slabs here. We need slabs in two areas. We need to create a tower. So we're going to come down. So we're going to cut this in over here because we can. And slab. Get our dust all the way here. And we'll place a block here. Dust underneath. If we're going to do it this way, which I do recommend, all we need is that. That'll work. 3 repeaters, 4 ticks. And then that is cycling all the way through there. And then the last part for this is we don't need this. We're going to tuck it into here. We need to get our slabs out again. And we're going to do double slab. Create a slab tower. This one needs to be a solid block, so we'll place a solid block there. Repeater 4 ticks, repeater 1 tick, and then down. Now get all those connected up, and then we will get from down there to over here, and then we will give it a trial via any other block we want. So you guys, give me a moment while I get those connected up, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. And now, there was one little thing that was a little bit of a mistake. You need to actually put logs here and repeaters here. You could put dust here, but I recommend having it set for 5 repeaters. And we need to have 4 repeaters all on 4 ticks here. So, now there's only one thing left. How are we going to get our saplings? Well, when the leaves get crushed, we need to pull them out. I did get a bone meal set up here. And we need to, because we will be standing right here. So, I have a little space right here. So let's drop this down. We'll grab our dropper, place it here. And then now we're going to come around to the back side, and we are going to create a line of hoppers. And these hoppers are going into the chain that I have set up. You don't have to have the chain, the hopper chain the way I do. I just have it here so that I can have more space for other things. So I can have it filter out through here and set up a item sorter here for sticks and apples, because I do not want sticks and apples coming into the dropper. So all you have to do is put your saplings in here. Make sure you still have one. Let's grab a sapling and walk up here, push the button, and we are going to place it. But one thing first, I made a slight change because I was getting a little issues when I was testing it. I have a observer going into the repeater with a piston pulsing, and that's just being powered by this by the redstone that's underneath this block. It will prevent it from going off when it's done. But it will never. But if there's a sapling left here, if the sapling grows, it will continue to grow. I've got some bone meal in here, so let's turn it on, and we are going. It's going to crush half of it, push it out of the way, crush the other half, and pull the log out and push it over. Now if we plant another one, the log is going to stay there. And we can actually turn it off right now. And it'll still continue the process because it's designed not to stop the process until it's been done. But so if we come down here, come up over here, you notice we're getting logs here. And they're sitting right here. They're literally moved out. So all we have to do is over here set up some sort of either log converter or blocker. Something, just put in a big block, whatever you want. Just, it's right over here. After this point is where you can set it up. Make sure you don't interact with the redstone because this is very sensitive. It is hard to, it took me a while to even figure this out for the original one. But my next video should be the log converter where we put it all into a single line. And it'll take a little bit for it to process. I haven't got all the timings down for this one. The timings for that one is good. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.